Good morning, everyone. Well, it is the 31st of January, and I have just started my period after coming off the pill on the 31st of December. So exactly a month later, here we are. I knew it was coming either yesterday or today based on when I ovulated or got a positive ovulation test, but I was feeling a bit like, oh, I don't know yesterday because I had been having some kind of mild cramping from the Friday and the Saturday. But then yesterday, which was Sunday, like nothing, pretty much nothing at all. And I thought, what's going on? But I woke up this morning, had a little bit of like, I wouldn't even call it cramping, but like discomfort last night. And I took some ibuprofen before I went to bed. And then I woke up this morning, probably around like 9:30, 9:40ish, with like a bubbling feeling. That's the only way I can describe it. Like, you know, when you're hungry and your stomach's gurgling, well, it's kind of like that, but I could feel it was lower down to my uterus. So I was pretty sure my period was either starting or about to start. Got up, went to the bathroom, looked down, my panty line that I wore last night was completely clean, but while I was sitting on the toilet, I kind of felt it go, and then I looked down and I could see the blood in the toilet bowl. So we're here, we've started, and as of right now, fingers crossed, I am not feeling too bad. I'm definitely a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not too horrific. However, I made a promise to myself with this period that I was going to take no chances. Before I went on the pill, I used to be really keen to try and have my periods as natural as possible because I don't like taking lots of pain meds. But because I've come off my pill just to see how my mental health is affected, and if it's, you know, as if whatever happens, like I'm probably going to go on to try something else afterwards. I don't plan to keep my period for that long. So I'm like, for the periods I have got, I'm just not even going to try. I'm going to just take the pain meds that I've been given, medication that I've been given, and just not worry about trying to be natural or anything, just take them. So we've got a lot of stuff to take this morning. This is the annoying thing because as I've said in other videos, I'm almost never hungry in the morning, which is a problem when you need to take ibuprofen, which is what I have here. I have this giant pot of Nurofen. I have a couple of these in the house, but one in my bag, one obviously by my bed. So this is 200 milligrams of Nurofen ibuprofen. So that's what I've got to take for the pain meds. Because I can't eat very much at this time in the morning, I have had a Pringle, and this is my thing. When I'm first starting my period, I just eat whatever I can manage. Doesn't matter if it's Pringles, a chocolate roll, whatever. Like, you just eat to get something in your stomach because you can't take Nurofen on an empty stomach. But also to help with that, I have this, which is omeprazole, because previously when I've taken ibuprofen, I've sometimes woken up with awful chest pain, which I eventually worked out was actually the ibuprofen in my stomach causing me pain. So I take this now and that stops it. Just one of these in the morning will be enough. I also, because ibuprofen completely messes up my intestines and my bowels and everything, I take one of these, which is Buscopan. Just one is enough for me. It's a little pill. That stops me getting any painful gas, which, oh my goodness. The first day is not usually too bad, but the second day, if you've ever had like ibuprofen gas, it's awful. And then the last thing I've got to take, I told you there was a lot, is this. This is just a box of tranexamic acid that I was prescribed by my doctor. It basically suppresses the bleeding. So that's what I've got to do now. And then I have a very calm, chill day. Although first, I need to go put on my cloth pad. First proper cloth pad I've worn in just over a year. It is currently around, just coming up to 12:30. So I last updated you around 10 o'clock when I took my meds. About an hour ago, I want to say, maybe slightly less, I started feeling kind of nauseous, but like not really, really sick, but just like underlying nausea, which actually I've had for the last couple of days in a way, which I think might be another side effect of my pill, but this I think was just because of taking all my meds. And I just don't feel hungry at all. Pain wise, like the cramps did start kicking in like just after I took my pain meds, so I'm glad I took them. After about half an hour, they were back to just very minimal. I've got a heat pack, which I've got on my stomach right now, and that seems to be doing the trick. Sorry if this camera is waving everywhere. I'm a bit like spaced out right now. But yeah, the kind of underlying nausea has not been fun, so I've just been like lying in bed sleeping. The worst part about it for me is that when you feel a bit nauseous, you can't really do anything. Like, you can't scroll through your phone because that makes you feel sick. You can't watch something, it makes you feel sick. Can't read, that makes you feel sick. So you're just stuck doing nothing. Yeah, not fun. as of right now, pain is manageable, but I'm not very heavy at the moment yet, so I'm hoping that the tranexamic acid, that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to suppress blood flow, will keep that kind of light. But pain-wise, I haven't been too bad. It's just kind of feeling a bit, ugh, that's the main thing at the moment. Okay, wow, it is sunny this morning. Okay, that's a bit better. I was sent these beer seeds to try out, which basically are for seed cycling. They're just a bunch of seeds that are good for different stages of your cycle, and I've got one here for day 1 to day 14, which is obviously day 1 is the start of your period. This is the follicular phase flax and pumpkin seed blend, and I'm not very good with seeds in general, so I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll put them in a smoothie and hopefully try it that way. So it's about a tablespoon in a day basically, and it's supposed to help you with regulating your period and helping with period pain and other things too. So I figure we've got nothing to lose by trying it, and as I really don't feel like eating, a smoothie might be a good thing to do right now. This is kind of embarrassing, but it's actually been so long since I've made myself a smoothie that I kind of don't remember how to do it, so I'm just gonna throw a bunch of stuff in here and pray it turns out all right. So this is what the seeds look like. It literally is just pumpkin and flax seeds, so I'm just gonna add that in to the smoothie mix. I'm going to add quite as much in, and I'm going to add some yogurt, some milk, some ice, and maybe a little bit of oats as well. I didn't realise I only had 2 ice cubes left, but hopefully I have pulverised this enough that it shall be tasty for me to drink, because I really don't like seeds, so I'm hoping that by blitzing them up a bit will have helped. There we go. I've just popped it in this little owl style mason jar, and this, believe it or not, this doesn't look a lot, but I won't even finish this, but this should be plenty, so let's give it a try. Well, it certainly tastes good, so hopefully I'll be able to get some of that in me. So my mum just popped over to drop off some little ready meals for me, and decided I probably would feel better if I went for a little walk, and I need some breadsticks as well, because I completely forgot that when I am usually on my period, having breadsticks is a really easy thing to kind of nibble on, so I'm going to go and stock up on those. But I've literally just thrown together my comfy dungarees that put no pressure on my stomach under this rainbow top, which completely clashes with this dungaree, but we're going to ignore that. So just going to go for a little walk, and still feeling okay. Like the nausea has gone down a bit. I managed to drink all the smoothie, and I've also had a cup of stock drink, which is just like vegetable stock powder and water, which is like a savoury, kind of like vegetable noodles stock kind of flavour broth-ish. Tastes really good though, and that seems to have helped a bit, so hopefully some fresh air and a walk will do me good. So it's just coming up to about 5:30 now. I've switched from my hot lavender bag, or what do you call them? I don't know, but like the heat packs you warm from the microwave, to an actual hot water bottle that stays warmer for longer. I'm doing okay, like knock on wood, but today has been okay. I've had, cramping, underlying cramping, but the pain meds have been able to handle it. The ibuprofen's been able to handle it. So far, no problem. I did reduce the amount of tranexamic acid I took the second time around, because now that I can spread the meds out a bit and don't take them all together, which I think might have been, I didn't take them all together at the same time. I did try to spread them out a bit, but I couldn't take those ones until my period started, so they kind of had to be done at a similar time, the 6 I had to take this morning. So I had to take 2 ibuprofen, a buscopan, an omeprazole to protect my stomach lining, and the 2 tranexamic acids. I felt a bit nauseous afterwards, and I think that was down to the tranexamic acid, so I only took 1 a bit later on, because I also worked out the dosages for adults. I have to remember I'm quite petite, so I don't necessarily need as much, and also my periods, it really hasn't been heavy at all, so I felt like, okay, I feel like I can comfortably bring that down to 1. So I took that at 3 o'clock, and I still felt a little bit of nausea after that, which is what made me think it was that triggered my nausea, but it wasn't quite as bad. So fingers crossed that I've clicked onto what that was. But otherwise, I was able to manage that little walk up to the supermarket earlier. I just picked up some breadsticks and some yogurt. I've got some of those ready meals my mum brought me earlier on today, and I think I'll just have one of those for dinner. Food-wise, I have been really off my food, and that's tricky because I can't take ibuprofen without eating something, but I've managed to keep eating and snacking at little things. The smoothie was really good, that helped a lot, so definitely will be remembering that. I may have another smoothie later tonight, or I might save it for the morning. But my next worry now, if I'm being honest, is tomorrow morning, because this day, with my period beforehand, the first day was always like painful, so I'd have to take a lot of pain meds, but the second morning was always where like the really bad pain kicked in. It's the first overnight that always worries me, so that's where I know I'll probably find tonight quite difficult. But if I get through tomorrow morning and I'm okay by the end of tomorrow, I think I'll have, I'll feel like I've got through it and that's the worst over, and then I'll be able to relax a lot more. I know quite a bit of this at the moment is psychological, but it's impossible to explain to someone if you've never dealt with really bad periods before. Like the fear is impossible to explain. So I just wanted to kind of say that. But I'm going to film, usually I just film the first day when I do these period vlogs, but I'm actually going to film across today and tomorrow so that you get kind of a more accurate picture of my period. So hopefully you guys like that new format. But right now I'm feeling okay. I'm also on a bit of a Jane Austen binge. I love Jane Austen books and also like the films and stuff. So I just watched I found that Netflix has the new version of Emma that was done in 2020, and I actually really enjoyed it, so I've watched that. And so now I'm trying to think like what films I might watch next. I think I've watched Pride and Prejudice to death, so I'll probably skip that one. But another favourite of mine is Persuasion, so I may watch that one again, and maybe some of the not as popular ones like Mansfield Park. I might do that one too. So there's a few things I've got in my arsenal to watch. So I thought I'd make the most of this time where I'm just having chill out in bed. But as of right now, things are okay. Please forgive the noise in the background. It's just my fan I have to have on to go to sleep. It's 10 p.m. now. I had a bath around 7 o'clock because I was starting to get some cramping, and I find that the bath is the best way to relieve that pain. So tonight, because as I've said before, it's tomorrow morning that I'm worried about. If I get through tomorrow morning, I'll feel more comfortable. I have already taken one more tranexamic acid, so now I'm about to take 2 more ibuprofen, but I have a stronger dose than I have been taking. I've been taking the regular Nurofen, which I think is 200 milligrams up until now, but Nurofen do a slightly stronger one, which is about 250. And I have also previously been prescribed naproxen, which is even stronger, but I don't like how that pill tastes. So I'm going to take this one, and also some more Buscopan, because the ibuprofen can really upset your intestines, and I'm noticing I am a bit more gassy than I would normally be, so I'm going to take some Buscopan to help with that. And then I've been drinking plenty of Lucozade Sport. This is a drink I find very easy to drink to keep hydrated. So hopefully, fingers crossed, all that should make the night quite pleasant, but generally today has been pretty okay, so hopefully tonight will be alright too. Good morning, folks. So it is now 20 past 10. I slept okay last night. Like I said before, I knew it was going to be, I hoped it was just going to be the worry more than anything. And I struggled to get to sleep. I kind of dozed between like 1 and 3 a.m. in the morning, I think. And then sometime after I fell asleep and I woke up around 8 o'clock in the morning. As soon as I woke up, I took some more pain meds. I wasn't in pain at that point, but I didn't want it to get started. I got up, went to the bathroom, did start to feel some cramping, so then I just came back to bed and just lay down with a heat pack. And I was okay. Like, I was definitely getting a few little cramps, but nothing unbearable at that point. So I basically spent the next hour in bed just dozing again because I don't think I've had quite enough sleep. But I was like, I'm just going to have a very quiet day. I've got no plans today, so just be very calm, very quiet. And so far, I've been to the toilet, and I did a number 2. And this is the thing, that is where before I've been terrified, because that is sometimes where the extreme pain has been. Like, there's a point behind my uterus where when you need to go for number 2 and you feel it pass, and it is like, I cannot describe the pain to anyone other than being stabbed. It is sharp, agonizing pain where I literally would feel the blood drain from my head. Like, when you go hot suddenly, there's a train going past, when you go hot suddenly, that's what it feels like to me when that happens. It's like stabbing and then the blood drains and I feel sick, and it's just, that's the only way I can describe it. But that didn't happen this morning. It was definitely, a bit more painful, but it wasn't that sharp stabbing pain. So I really hope that this is a bit better now. I've taken obviously my pain meds this morning. I've just taken a tranexamic acid as well, although I am barely bleeding. Like, I pretty much just had a bit more than spotting, but not much more than that on any of my pads. Last night, barely any blood as well. I have found that when I've had the cramps and I've gone to the toilet, I've kind of just bled them, there is something called free bleeding, which is not what it sounds like about bleeding just over whatever you sit on or anything. It's actually being able to control when you bleed. To a certain extent, you get a feeling of when you're going to bleed and you go to the toilet and sit on it. And some people kind of just instinctively find they do this, and I've kind of ended up doing that this cycle, where I've been feeling a bit crampy and it feels like I need to go to the toilet, so I go and sit on the toilet and then I just bleed. So I think I might be bleeding a little more than I think, but the tranexamic acid, either that or the fact that the pill has suppressed my adeno, which it can do, both of those things possibly have led to it being a lighter period. So we will see. We will see how today goes. But so far, I'm knocking on wood because I've managed to get through the worst parts of my period, which are usually the worst. So if the rest of the day goes well, I think I'll feel a lot calmer by tonight. So it's just gone 1:30 now. My mum's come over to see me. It was a surprise to me. I thought she was going to be out all day with some friends, but it got cancelled. So she messaged and said, would I want to come do something with her? So I think we decided that because it's such a really nice day today, we're just going to go do a little drive around to get out the house and everything. My brain is so like loopy. I think it must be the pain meds and other stuff, but I'm just feeling really out of it. Like I can't remember, you can probably hear her in the kitchen, I can't remember like some things that I've said or when I've invited somebody or I'm just But other than that, doing pretty okay. Kind of intermittent little bouts of cramps, but this is very fine. It's the only thing that worries me is when I have them and I feel like, is it going to get worse? Is it going to go further than this? But when they're just minor, those are okay. So hopefully, if all goes well today, by tomorrow, normally my cramps are done, or I just get one bout again. So we'll see how it goes. So we stopped off on the way home at the new wasabi place that's happened here. I love the wasabi food that they do, but it's only been in London up until now, so there's a new one in my local town. So we stopped and I got some chicken katsu curry, which so far is very yummy. Getting my appetite back. It's just coming up to 8:30 now, and as you can tell, I am back home. So I had a very lazy afternoon at my parents' house. After we went for a drive, my mum took me back there. And I pretty much sat on the sofa, but because I didn't get as much sleep last night as I was hoping I would, after I had the katsu curry, I basically sat and read my book for a little bit, and then I kind of keeled over, wrapped myself in the blanket, and went to sleep for about an hour and a half. Ended up having dinner a little bit later. They made some bacon and mushroom risotto. This was at 7 o'clock, and at that point I woke up and I was kind of starting to cramp a bit again. Probably wasn't in the best position for lying down because I was kind of curled up on my side. But I managed to eat a little bit and take some more medicine, and then I said to my mum, asked my mum if she could drop me back, which she did. And then I've basically just been here, sitting in bed. I've just accidentally bought a new book on my Kindle. I have Kindle Unlimited, and I just clicked buy, not realising that it wasn't an unlimited book, so I'm a little bit annoyed with myself at that, because what I tend to do personally with my unlimited is kind of buy a book through Kindle Unlimited, which doesn't cost me anything because I pay a monthly subscription, and then just sort of read the first chapter and see if I'm into it, and then put it back. And I think this book might not be one that I'm too keen on, but oh well. So there's a little bit of a, oh, wish I'd seen that first, but not the end of the world by any means. I think I will probably have a bath in about half an hour, just kind of before I get into bed. I want to kind of soak and let everything out, but at this point, everything is okay. So hopefully this is alright, and I don't want to jinx it, but this period, at this point at least, has been okay. So that is actually quite nice that I've managed to survive my period thus far. So yeah, if this continues, then this will be bearable, which is good. It's not terrible like some of the previous ones have been. Oh, I did forget to mention, I think, my brain is literally like scrambled. Like I genuinely can't remember what I've said in this and what I haven't. But the week leading up to my period, so from Monday last week until Friday, I took Dong Quai, which is this stuff, and I just drop it in some like gelatin capsules, basically because it tasted foul. Put a few drops of that in a capsule and swallow it each night with my dinner. That stops me getting blood clots, so it stops my blood from clotting, because the clots are the most painful part to pass with my period. I worked out way back when I still had them. So I've been taking that, and again, I haven't had any period clots, so that seems to have worked too. That's the only other thing I did kind of in preparation for this. I have now stopped the tranexamic acid because I was barely bleeding, and I decided I actually wanted to kind of get some of the blood out of the way at this point. So I have now been properly bleeding a bit more, still not very heavy, but more than I was. And I'm still not heavy, so I think I'll be okay from now on. It is 9:30 now. I've just finished having my bath, as you might be able to tell. And I think I'm going to end the vlog here, guys. It's been my first period vlog in a long, long time. So it's been really interesting getting back into the swing of things. I hope you really enjoyed this one. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to do these every single month. It kind of depends, A, how regular my cycle gets back into, and B, if I have other things going on. But I'll try and do them when I can. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching this period vlog. I've been using cloth pads throughout my cycle to this point. From tomorrow, I may well put a menstrual cup in or switch to just period underwear. Like I said, my period's really not been that heavy, so I've just basically had a light period so far, so I haven't needed to worry about leaking or anything at all because I've just been really, really light. But I may well switch to period underwear or a menstrual cup, but I actually quite like cloth pads. I find them really comfy, so who knows. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Do please subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye, everyone.